angels willing to hold us in their arms. When our worth was stone, our ashes, and we both passed on. Let forever mean forever and carry on.
Good afternoon. Wow, kind of in a shambles today. I've been kind of procrastinating a few things today. Sorry for the cough. I procrastinated making dinner, and I found myself at about 3 p.m. In there. That's Central Standard Time, an hour ago, just starting to make supper. So I managed to get coffee started because that's more important. I haven't even ate yet because I'm drinking coffee, and coffee and spaghetti don't go together. So coffee is more important than food, in my book anyway. So anyway, I was kind of rushing. I got spaghetti made, Jen's ate, and I got all that done, and I sat down. I'm making sure that, I've got the articles and stuff like that tweeted out and put on Facebook and all that. Totally forgot to set the shows up on Facebook, YouTube, and in the back end of the WatchmanNews.com. So literally, like within the last 5 minutes waiting before the show, I was scrambling to get these shows posted. And, it is what it is. That happens once in a while. So I apologize for being a minute or two behind on the start of the show. My goodness. Yeah, I've got another talk to have with you all today. But before I do, I want to give a big note of thanks, and that thanks is to you. Big thanks to Evil. 1 month ago, roughly 1 month ago, we decided to become an Amazon affiliate, and I'm not going to be spamming you. Don't worry. I'm just saying thank you. I don't think it would hurt anything to show. I'm proud of this. I think this is great. In our first month as an Amazon affiliate, and again, I don't think there's anything in here that you can't see, so I think I'm good. Let me scroll down here easily to make sure. I don't think I can stop here. I don't think there's anything on this page that you cannot see. So I've got one order that Evil had actually placed, I think it was yesterday, that's not shown up yet because it doesn't show up in they call it fees, okay? Our revenue, they call fees, and it's not shown up in the fees yet because it doesn't post in the fees until the item actually ships. So anyway, our first month being an Amazon affiliate, we have gotten together $44.18. Now it'll take 2 months to get that because they've got like a 2-month deferred payment system, but I'm not going to complain. Hey, that's awesome. So thank you again to everybody that participated in that. I am so glad we made that switch to Amazon versus doing the share sale thing. It's definitely doing a great job, and again, I extremely appreciate it. Every dime that we get, whether it's from being an affiliate, whether it's from people donating directly to PayPal, whatever it is, that goes to prepping, folks. That helps us get better prepared. It also helps us get things for me to be able to check out and look at personally, so I can say, hey, this is a good item, I recommend it, or hey, this thing absolutely blows, stay away from it. Luckily, we haven't had a whole bunch of the second category, so we've lucked out in that department. So again, thank you very much. The items that we have bought, I will just throw this out there. The items that we have bought, we do have listed. If you go to the website under the store and go to recommended, the items that you will see up top here, these items are all items that we own and that we recommend. So if you go down through here, and there's a various list of things. I mean, there's a front wheel, electric front wheel hub motor for a bicycle. right? 26-inch bicycle. Yes, we bought 2 of them, and I couldn't recommend them anymore. They're awesome. Tent stove, you name it. Trailer, cargo trailer for the bikes. I mean, you name it. Books. Here's the trailer we use for Blue, which is actually a double child trailer for a bike. And crossbow, you name it. There's a ton of stuff that over the course of the last few years that we've purchased. And again, if I don't stand behind it, if it's not something that I've put my hands on and used, it won't be in this section. So just kind of a little heads up on products that we recommend. And then if you choose to use an Amazon affiliate link of ours, you can either click on the link in the description of the videos, or you can just come here and you can search anything that you want. Like, I'm sure somebody out there makes dog underwear, right? Here you go, dog diapers, okay? Anything you want. You just go to our homepage, you throw it in the search box there, and hit enter, and that will give us credit if you buy. And again, we appreciate it. It helps. Thank you very much. Okay, so now on to other business. Prepper Nurse One site is just still exploding. Amazing. It's incredible the amount of participation over there. It's incredible the amount of new users that are signing up, and it's awesome to be a part of that project. It really is. It's nice to see that happen. It shows me that there are a lot of people that have their heads on straight and their priorities right, and that's a big deal. So let's see. What do I want to talk about? We've got some crazy stuff in the news today and all that. We'll get to that in a moment. But today, the issue that I'm going to pick to point out, somebody that many of us, at least here at the Watchman News, knows, and I'm not going to call the guy out. As far as I'll do that is I'll say he was involved with the Malheur refuge deal out in Oregon. And I'll go as far to say one of the final 4 that was out there. Friends on Facebook and stuff like that. And there are several times that I do call him out. So it's, it is what it is. If I see somebody claiming to be constitutional, claiming to be a patriot, and they're not defending the Constitution, I will call them out. You better bet I will call them out. The problem that I think a lot of people are having is they're trying to find the Constitution in a political party, and it doesn't exist. Okay, you're not going to find the Constitution clearly in the Democrats, and you're not going to find the Constitution even in the Republicans. You're not going to find it. They are both authoritarian. All they want to do is control you. They want to take your money from you via taxes, permits, fees, and, tell you what to do, what you can, what you can't do. It's absolutely insane. So, and I've seen this a few times. There was a post that he had shared on Facebook, and it was about this Kamala Harris or whatever her name is, and I really don't know her from Betty Crocker, okay? And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But anyway, she's on this push to legalize prostitution, okay? And first off, let me tell you my views on this, okay? It's a moral thing. I am against it. You're talking about a guy that doesn't even do porn, okay? I won't watch porn. I won't have anything to do with porn. I want nothing to do with porn. And I know that's probably going to sound odd, or you're going to think I'm a liar. I don't care. I don't do porn. So I'm clearly not going to go pay a prostitute to have sex. That's not even a consideration. So I want to make that clear. I want to make my personal stance. But you have to understand, my personal stance doesn't matter. Okay? We're talking about the Constitution, and my feelings don't matter in the Constitution. Nobody's feelings matters in the Constitution, okay? Hurt feelings is not an infringement on another person's rights in a constitutional setting, okay? So I have to, that's where I have to go, okay? here's how I measure everything, okay, in life. Everything that comes past me, it's got to go past two things. The Bible first, okay, which prostitution, it fails right there. In my book, again, my personal book. This isn't, this isn't lawmaking here. This is my personal thoughts. I pass things past the Bible first, and then the Constitution, and in that order. Okay? So let's not consider the Bible part for a second. Let's just talk constitutionally. Let's just talk liberty. Let's just talk freedom. Anyway, let me add that when he made this post, he's calling out this woman and demonizing her because she wants to decriminalize prostitution. And let me explain this. Constitutionally, again, not my personal feelings. If two consenting adults want to make a trade, one for, we'll just say, services rendered, and the other for some type of monetary compensation, okay, selling is legal, the last I checked in the Constitution. We're allowed to sell. And in fact, we're supposed to be allowed to sell freely. That means without the government watching over our back on every little transaction that we make. Okay? That's number one. Okay? Number two, you are not a criminal. You did not commit a crime if there is no victim. So if Johnny wants to pay Susie $20 for services rendered, that's between Johnny and Susie. Who's the victim? Can anybody point out the victim to me? Because in order for there to be a crime, constitutionally, there has to be a victim. So we've got to make this choice. Okay? We have got to make that choice. Because if we don't, we are going to wind up in a country, and it's happening, it's already happened. We are going to wind up in a country that is so regulated and so restricted, and everybody's going to be so confused. Right? The liberals, you don't hear them talk about being patriots. Not real often. Okay? The conservatives, that's their bag. Right? We're patriots. We're the grand old party. We're the patriots. No, they're not. Patriots would stand behind the Constitution, not behind a political party, not behind a political ideology. They would stand behind the Constitution. That's where it would start, and that's where it would end. Okay? And we have to clear that up. We need to make that very, very clear to everybody. Because there seems to be some kind of confusion here. It seems like people are muddying the waters. And again, I'm just picking this out as an example. I don't personally agree with prostitution. I wouldn't be involved in it myself. I wouldn't encourage anybody to do it. I wouldn't encourage a female to be selling it. I wouldn't encourage a male to be buying it. Okay? Not my thing. But we are a nation-based, we're a constitutional republic. We're a nation based on a document, a constitution. Okay? And everything has to pass that test. Anything that doesn't pass the constitutional test is null and void. And that means state laws, county laws, local township laws, whatever. If it don't pass the Constitution, it's null and void. Nothing can overwrite the Constitution. There seems to be a lot of confusion there, too. Okay? Our federal government really isn't supposed to do much of anything other than protect our borders and protect us from people violating the Constitution. So in other words, the federal government, if you had a state government or a county government that was, let's say, trying to ban guns, okay, it would be the federal government's job to step in and not allow that to happen. It would be the federal government's job to step in and protect you from your local, county, state authorities and government in the interest of your rights. You see what I'm saying here? That's all the federal government's supposed to do. They're not supposed to have the FDA, the EPA, the USDA, they're not supposed to have these 50 million different organizations and groups that dictate every little aspect of your life. Here's the thing about freedom, and I think this is probably the hardest pill to swallow when it comes to freedom. Freedom means you have to turn your head when you see something you don't like. As long as it's not actually causing you harm, you have to turn your head. It's none of your business. Okay? Let's say you're the most anti-marijuana person on the planet, and your neighbor's smoking a joint. You don't have to like it, but it's none of your business. And no, the smell of the smoke wavering over into your window is not causing you harm. Not. See, that's a line we need to redistinguish as well. Okay, because it's been far lost. Very far lost. There's a lot of things that I don't like. A lot of things in this world. But I go back to that, again, the Bible first, which a lot of things fail there. But then I go to the Constitution after the Bible. If something passes the Bible test, it goes to the constitutional test. If it passes that, it's marked in none of my business in my mind, and that's where it stays. And believe me, I put everything past that. Everything. That's probably why I've got the foundation that I do. Because I do have quite a bit of a different foundation, I think, than a majority of people. And that's because I grounded myself. Okay, whether you want to talk about spirituality or constitutionality or whatever, a business, it doesn't matter. You have to build things on a solid foundation. If you don't build on a solid foundation, you're just looking at a train wreck waiting to happen. Okay? So that's my foundation. I had to have something, right? My life, when I made the last major change in my life and decided to really straighten my act up, I needed a foundation, and I knew that. And I didn't want to keep screwing up. I wanted to do the right thing. And so, what better guide, what better manual could you have to do that than the Bible? So that's what I did. I started thinking biblically, if that makes any sense to you. I put everything on those scales first. And then I do so constitutionally after that, like I've said. And that's what's been able to keep me on this foundation. I'm not saying I'm always right, and I'm not saying that I'm always a good servant to God, because I'm human, and I've got my struggles. But I try, and it's not just words coming out of my mouth. I actually try. I used to, for instance, I used to cuss like a sailor all the time, and then this is a goofy little area. But ever since I made that choice to better myself, the amount that I cuss is a lot less. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and tell you I don't cuss, but it is a whole lot less. There's a lot of things that I do differently. My entire life has been changed, has been transformed by seeking that foundation. And we need to do that if we want to help this country. That is, if we want to help it in a manner to build it back to the way that it used to be. It's a sad day, folks, when we got patriots, or people, I should say, people claiming to be patriots that are really, truly authoritarian. That's scary stuff. That's scary stuff. That's just as scary as what the gun grabbers are trying to do, or, you know. It's scary. I'm telling you what, there are no friends in politics. There just aren't. They're not going to do your bidding. That's not how they stay in office. They don't make their money from you. You think they make their money from you? These people are bringing in millions of dollars a year. Look at their salary. Look at what they get paid from we the people. Look at their salary. Not even close to that. So you tell me, who are they going to listen to? We the people that pay them peanuts in comparison to what the corporations lobbying pays them? You know, we can fix this really easy. Believe it or not, we can. But it's got to, you know, we got to put in term limits. We have to actually ban lobbying. We need to call lobbying what it is, which is bribery. And we need to get rid of it. We need to take the money out of public service. Anytime you put money into something, you're especially the more amount of money, you're bound to corrupt it. Anytime. And that's why we see every major system in our country so corrupt and ran so inefficiently, because people found ways to squander money out of it. That's what we have to be mindful of. We need to get the money out of government. We need to make it to where government, once again, is something, or being a member of government, is something that is more along the lines of just wanting to do what's right instead of wanting to be in power and make money and make connections. And a lot less people will want to run. Sorry about that. You know, there's a lot of people that don't go into public service for the right reasons. We need to change that. We need to change that. I'm telling you, the best president that we could elect is somebody that doesn't want to be president. Somebody that doesn't want the job. And I mean that. I mean that. They'll do a far better job than these people that are running. And anyway, that's pretty much what I have to say on that. Let me go ahead and get through the news headlines. Let's see. Okay. Pakistan hints at nuking India after cross-border airstrikes roil the white-hot feud. Royal? Okay, didn't know that was a word. Anyway, yeah, need to keep an eye on that. Do I think it's going to wind up into a global conflict? No, I don't. Do I think that it's just a little spat that will calm down? Most likely. Doesn't mean to take your eye off the ball. Keep your eyes on that. Let's see. Potential is awesome. Trump says DPRK would be thriving if it denuclearizes. I don't think that Kim Jong-un is that stupid. Okay? Especially after watching what's going on right this very moment in Venezuela. I don't think he's that stupid. Just saying. U.S. claims on Maduro days numbered mean Cuba and Nicaragua will be next, says Lavrov. I have no doubt of that either. Folks, we've been trying to build this empire a long time. We've been working on this empire. And they've been working at these countries in particular for quite some time. At some point, they're going to make their move. At least three Pakistan's, at least three, let me say it the way it's supposed to be said, believe it or not. At least three Pakistani warplanes entered Indian part of Kashmir, which I had to comment to Jen earlier. I'll make a comment to you just for a matter of record. I'm going to plead with Pakistan and India both to not cause harm to Kashmir, because they make really, really awesome sweaters, and you know, don't wipe out Kashmir. Pakistan drowns. Jen's over here wanting to drown me. Pakistan downs 2 Indian aircraft inside its airspace. Pilots arrested. Pakistani media releases alleged video of captured Indian pilot. India says it shot down 1 Pakistani warplane, lost MiG-21 fighter. Yeah, it got pretty nuts over the night. Pakistani PM says country ready to cooperate with India on Kashmir attack. This is insane, folks. Let me go ahead and bring this one up and grab a sip of coffee. I'll just let the video
It happened
play.
here at Brighter Day Preschool, where the director waited a reported 5 days before looking at the video you're about to see. Friday, February 1st, a 3-year-old child's head split open at daycare. An ambulance took her to the hospital where she had 7 stitches. This daycare surveillance shows what happened. You can see the girl appears calm and contained, standing in the same area by a chair for 2 minutes before a teacher walks across the room towards her, grabs her arm, drags her, and throws her against a cabinet. The teacher then reportedly sent this note home to parents saying she fell.
In no world did this family have any idea that what was called a fall was actually an assault until they came to see that video.
The family wants to remain anonymous. They hired attorney Jennifer Hansen.
One of the more egregious aspects of this case is that the daycare director told the family that she did not watch the surveillance tape until the family was with her.
She said that was 5 days later, when the child's relative recorded this off the surveillance monitor with her cell phone. You can hear her shock when she sees it was not an accident, as reported.
That was her!
The daycare could have reviewed that footage at any time. They didn't, and they allowed the daycare worker who assaulted this little girl to continue to work at the facility for 5 additional days.
The director fired the teacher after seeing this video. Police are also investigating, along with state child care inspectors. I found those inspectors also reported past cases of kids getting hurt here. May of 2018, inspectors noted a second teacher slam a child down on the cot, and a third teacher holding a child by his wrist, dragging him across the room. June 2016, inspectors say staff did not have a preventative plan in place when one child was repeatedly hitting and choking another child. March 2016, inspectors wrote that a child fell out of the chair and sustained a left femoral fracture. Daycare director Sharon Williams came out to tell us she could not comment because of the ongoing investigation. Her attorney then sent us this statement today. All teachers and staff are properly trained and extremely qualified. Providing a quality education and a safe environment is of the utmost importance to our teachers and staff. It has always been our policy to notify the proper authorities and to fully comply with any investigation. We have and will continue to follow said policy. Count on us to monitor the police investigation and to track whether daycare regulators take action. For the Fox Files, I'm Chris Hayes.
Folks, it's crazy, and the amount of money that's paid to these daycare providers is insane. Absolutely insane. And I know there's a lot of cost in it. I'm not arguing about the cost. I'm just saying that, you know, when a parent pays out that kind of money for daycare to watch their child, they should expect or be able to expect better care than that. That is insane. That was North St. Louis where that happened at. And we're seeing this. This is becoming an epidemic in this country, by the way. Let's see. Pakistan does not want war with India, says a military spokesman. BP boss Dudley says U.S. shale is a market without a brain. Kind of like our government, right? Skybridge, China's horizontal skyscraper, nears completion. That thing is pretty crazy looking. Domestic posturing or true escalation. Analyst fears new Kashmir incident prelude to global conflict. And I talked about that a little bit ago. It could, it most certainly could turn into a global conflict, but I don't think it will. And even if it would go nuclear, as long as the United States keeps their nose out of it, I don't think it would go global. I think it would be contained in between India and Pakistan. I don't think because I don't think that India would launch. I don't think that not India. China would launch. I don't think Russia would launch or anybody else. I think it would be contained to that. But let's see. Power of Siberia. Russia's 3,000 kilometer gas pipeline to China, 99% complete. Let's see. I hate saying this. California's epic glory hole awakens after major downpour. I didn't name it that, folks. Russia willing to work with U.S. on cybersecurity, but Washington stalls, says National Security Chief. Exorbitant toilet paper use by Americans wiping out Canadian forests. And I'm sure the pun was probably intended there. Yeah, folks, we're using too much toilet paper. We're wiping out the Canadian forests. I've been seeing a meme here recently on, I think on Facebook, that shows hemp toilet paper and tells the facts about hemp toilet paper, how quickly it can be grown, how much of it, how much pulp a certain area of hemp produces. It's the way to go. We need to stop doing what we're doing. There's a lot of things that we really need to stop doing what we're doing. Jen goes to the task, no matter what, whether it's power bill, whether it's any of the bills that we have, anybody that we pay. She always, if it's an option, she signs up for paperless stuff, right? In other words, don't send a bill, don't send anything. We'll deal with it all online. And it's sad because like every week we get 3 different sale things, right? And I think like Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Each day we get a different sale thing. And I wished we didn't. And I wish there was something we could do to stop it. Because, folks, I'm not a tree hugger. I'm not, right? But I also don't want to waste. I don't want to destroy the earth. I don't want to waste and all of that. And so here we're getting these papers all the time, that we don't need nor want, and we can't stop it. We can't do nothing about it. And so luckily, our town does have a recycling program to where you just get a little bin from City Hall and, you throw your recyclable items in the bin and you take it out on trash day and they pick it up. So that's good. But, we really need to stop. We really do need to stop. At some point, there's going to be some major issues arise, It's absolutely nuts. But please, whatever you do, don't stop wiping your butt. It's, something rotten in the state of Denmark. Government wants stores to stop accepting cash. That was a kind of a scary headline in my book. Venezuela foreign minister denounces theft of assets by U.S., calls for meeting between Trump and Maduro. Let's see. Russia introduces Venezuela resolution at UN Security Council. Oh, here we go. Here we go with the crazy, folks. I always point out, I talk to you guys from time to time about just how crazy people are acting in the United States and abroad, not just the United States. The little bizarre things, and it's getting more frequent and worse in its content. It is, and I really do think that this is associated with pole shift, and I think this is the magnetic changes and stuff like that that's affecting the human psyche, right? So the next two stories, two arrested in buffet brawl over crab legs. Okay, you've got to hear this. Huntsville, Alabama. Yes, I said Alabama. Alabama police say a dispute over crab legs at a dinner buffet ended in a brawl that left two people facing misdemeanor charges. Huntsville police officer Gerald Johnson says he was eating at the Meteor Buffet restaurant when a fight broke out. Johnson tells WHNT-TV that diners were using service tongs like fencing swords and plates were shattering, and a woman was beating a man. Johnson says diners had been waiting in line for crab legs for more than 10 minutes, and they lost their tempers once the food came out. The station reports Chiquita Jenkins as charged with assaulting John Chapman, who suffered a cut on his head. Chapman is charged with disorderly conduct. Court records aren't available to show whether either person has a lawyer. My favorite part about that story is they were using the tongs like fencing swords. That's great. Anyway, I know I shouldn't encourage it. And lastly, and we got to read this one too because it's just too bizarre. Man faces felony charge after allegedly dipping testicles in customer's salsa. This happened in Maryville, Tennessee. Tennessee man was jailed on felony charges after appearing to dip his testicles into a container of salsa that a customer had ordered online. The delivery driver allegedly, this is how stupid people are. The delivery driver allegedly recorded it and posted a video online saying, "This is what you get when you give an 89-cent tip for an almost 30-minute drive." News outlets reported that the passenger, 31-year-old Howard Matthew Webb, was arrested last week and charged with adulteration of food. Diner Delivered said the food service has fired the driver and forwarded information about her to authorities as well. And hang on a second, because I'm going to address that if you caught it. Webb remains behind bars pending a March 12th hearing. His arrest warrant says they picked up the food for delivery from a local Mexican restaurant. The company issued a refund for the tainted food. I gotta wonder if the person that wrote this report put that in there on purpose. They had to have put that in there on purpose. That food tain't right. So anyway, I guess this was just a little mess up here because it said forwarded information about her to authorities. I think they meant him. So I don't know. Maybe it's a him, her. I don't know, or her, him, or I don't know. Anyway, that's the news article I have for you today. I had to end it with those two, right? My God. And you know what? I see some of the craziest stories involve food, whether it be family members jabbing family member in the eye with a fork because they were trying to get the last piece of chicken or what. And that's something that happened, folks. That was several years ago. And it happened multiple times, multiple locations, along with barbecue. We've seen people stabbed with the barbecue fork over the last piece of meat. Man, I'm telling you, it's, I don't know what it is. I can't even begin to even make up something that it is. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and close up the monologue. If you're here for the live show, don't go anywhere. Stick around. Don't do anything. We'll be live till 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. We will be joining up with Prepper Nurse 1 at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, and he is going to be talking about antibiotics after SHTF. So we will be joining up with him. For those, however, that just watch the monologue or the recording thereof, which I'll make sure I get up again, this monologue, thank you very much. As always, God bless you. We love you, and be one with your spirit.